Welcome back. In this video we will be discussing popular leadership theories as listed in the SHRM BaSK. We are on video 2 of the video coaching series SHRM Test Prep. Today's topic falls under the leadership and navigation sub-competency. Following are the leadership theories we will cover in this video: 1. Trait theory, behavioral theory, and situational theory; 2. The Blake-Mouton Theory of leadership; and 3. The Hersey-Blanchard Situational Leadership Theory. If you are interested in learning about a specific theory, then you can skip through the chapters in this video. Let's begin. Leadership is the art of influencing and motivating people to work together to accomplish a goal. It is an art form, which means that it is not an innate skill and must be learned. Leadership theories are mainly divided into 3 categories: 1. Trait theory; 2. Behavioral theory; and 3. Situational theory. 1. Trait theory is based on the idea that leadership can be identified by certain personality traits. It was first introduced in the 1940s, began as a leadership idea that asserts that there are certain traits or habits that make someone more suited to being a leader. Trait theorists believe that the people who possess certain leadership traits are better equipped to become successful leaders. As an example, the late Steve Jobs was known for his charisma and had this innate trait of making people want things they didn't need. 2. Behavioral theory is referred to as behaviorism, which is a school of psychology that focuses on the behaviors of a leader, such as how to persuade others and how to address employee grievances. Behaviorism can be traced back to the 1920s when John B. Watson believed that human behavior is learned through conditioning and reinforcement. Conditioning is the process of associating a thing or event with something that naturally evokes a response. Reinforcement is when a behavior is strengthened, either by being followed by something pleasant, or because it reduces or gets rid of something unpleasant. Behavioral leadership theorists suggest that the success of a leader is dependent on their behavior. The theory of leaders are made, not born argues that anyone can become an effective leader if they learn and apply the right behaviors. Following are some of the behavioral leadership styles, after which we will also get into a couple of situational-based leadership theories, which are the Blake-Mouton Theory of leadership and the Hersey-Blanchard Situational Leadership Theory. People-oriented leaders. These people-orientated leaders tend to be more friendly and approachable than task-oriented ones. They usually make an effort to get to know their team members, which helps motivate them and boost performance. Task-oriented leaders. Task-oriented leaders often thrive in a structured environment. Their employees typically see them as authoritative and successful because they focus more on the final result rather than the developmental process over time. Participative leaders. Participative leaders have a high level of engagement with their team. Active communication, feedback and encouragement are always encouraged. They also understand the strengths and weaknesses in their team so that they can assign tasks accordingly. As a team member led by a participative leader, your voice and opinion will always be heard and considered. Status quo leaders. Good leaders do a lot more than just keep the team afloat. They also work with their group to provide support, motivation, and encouragement. Status quo leaders typically don't go the extra mile for their team. They may come up with a few new ideas here and there, but they're not likely to fully embrace the change that is needed. Indifferent leaders. They focus on personal development and their advancement when working closely with a team. They usually keep contact to a minimum, since they are too busy managing what others are doing. A common approach for indifferent leadership is to try and encourage others to cooperate. This can, however, lead to conflicts of interest if not everyone is interested in the same thing. As a result, an indifferent leadership style is considered the least effective in most situations. Dictatorial leaders. A dictatorial leader will rule with total power. There will be no opportunity for team input. The leader will make all decisions and his decisions are final and not open for discussion. These leaders believe they must give orders to get things done, and information sharing is non-existent. Country club leaders: employees feel more comfortable and mentally happier when the man in charge of their team cares about them. Some country club leaders might decide to sacrifice productivity in order to improve staff morale and work relationships. They believe that as long as their team is happy and secure, they will work hard. As a result, the work environment is relaxed and fun, however productivity suffers due to a lack of control and direction. Paternalistic leaders: paternalistic leaders establish high goals to motivate their team and are willing to be flexible and creative regarding how they accomplish those goals. They will often go the extra mile outside of the purview of work to try and help their team members develop themselves professionally. They enjoy being a mentor. Situational leadership theorists state that a leader should choose a leadership style based on the situation they are in. No one style of leadership is effective across all situations. Two widely used situational theories are the Blake-Mouton Theory and the Hersey-Blanchard Situational Leadership Theory. The Blake-Mouton Theory of leadership divides leaders into 5 categories: 1 impoverished management, 2 country club management, 3 produce or perish management, 4 middle-of-the-road management, and 5 team management. Let's understand the Blake-Mouton grid before we go through each of the leadership styles. There are 2 axes on the grid. The vertical axis is concerned for people and the horizontal axis is concerned for results. The 5 leadership styles are placed within quadrants on this grid based on their characteristics. We will keep returning to this grid after briefly discussing each leadership style. Impoverished management: this type of manager ignores human concerns. They will only do the minimum to avoid getting fired. They are not concerned about other aspects of their business. The results are inevitable disorganization, dissatisfaction and disharmony. Hence, looking at the grid, they are positioned on the low concern for people and low concern for results. Country club management: country club management means focusing more on people, and caring for people but not the production or results, which leads to happy employees, but low productivity. Hence, this leadership style is in the quadrant low concern for results and high concern for people. Produce or perish management: produce or perish is a type of leadership style that focuses on producing the desired outcomes by directing and ordering people to get the job done with little concern for their emotions or their well-being. Hence, this leadership style is in the quadrant low concern for people and high concern for results. Middle-of-the-road management: this type of leader wants to get the best out of his team but also is very caring of all his staff, hence the title, middle-of-the-road management. This leadership style is placed bang center of the quadrant. Team management: the motive of this leadership style is to focus on people and produce a great team climate. This can lead to strong commitment, engagement, empowerment and trust, which in turn leads to an outstanding overall team performance. This leadership style is the most desired and is placed in the quadrant high concern for results and high concern for people. To summarize, the framework asserts that when both concern for achieving goals or results and concern for people are high, then both productivity and engagement will be excellent. On the other hand, the framework does not address the complexity of which leadership style is best. However, it does provide a starting point for improving your own general leadership skills. The Hersey-Blanchard situational leadership theory divides leaders into 4 categories: 1. Telling, directing, 2. Selling, coaching, 3. Participating, supporting, and 4. Delegating. Telling, directing: this leadership style places more of an emphasis on directives and less attention given to the needs of the personal subordinates. Leaders would be mostly concerned with delivering tasks and less so with looking out for individual needs. This style of leadership is typically characterized by providing step-by-step instructions, sharing the consequences of failure, and close communication. Specifying the requirements in clear detail and organizing the way they will be addressed is essential. Selling, coaching, the leader is concerned with fostering the confidence and skills of followers so that they can eventually take on more responsibility for their actions. The leader focuses on increasing the level of confidence and knowledge that followers have to ensure they are able to take responsibility for their own actions. Participating, supporting, this leadership style relies on high levels of interaction, praise and trust in the follower. The leader only steps in for solving unclear tasks or when the follower needs guidance. Delegating, this is a very hands-off approach and it allows the leader to have some oversight while also encouraging autonomy. The leader checks in frequently enough that they're not too far removed and doesn't overwhelm the follower with responsibility. Now that we have understood the leadership styles, let's put this into context. As you can see in the framework, the directing leader is high on directive behavior and low on supportive behavior. They are focused more on giving direction. The coaching leader is high on both directive and supportive behavior. To be a good coach, you definitely need to be supportive as well as provide direction to the coachee. The supporting leader is high on supportive, obviously, however low on directive. And finally, the delegating leader is low on supportive and directive behavior, giving the employee more of a free hand. What's also interesting is to observe the follower's development level from D1, D2, D3 and D4. It would be possible for one of your team members to progress from D1 to D4 over the course of a year or two in a particular task. As a leader, you would first have to be a directive leader where you are simply directing the staff to complete the task by following instructions. They would then progress to a state where you as a leader would have to put on your coaching hat and help that employee get better at their task by coaching them. Now, since they have mastered the skill, all they would need now is your support and not direction on how to complete the task. And finally, when you are confident that they can achieve the task without any support or direction from you, then they can be delegated the task. So, to summarize, as a leader you would have to adopt all of these leadership styles from time to time depending on the situation or the team member's competence level. Test your learning from this lesson by trying to answer the situational questions pinned to the comments section of this video. Visit our website and download your supporting documents to accompany this coaching video. In the next video we will be discussing vision, which is the second sub-competency under the leadership and navigation competency. If these videos are adding value to your SHRM test prep, then leave a comment, like, share and subscribe.